Pep Talk UK, Pro V's once again. Remember, hit that subscribe button, and I'm delighted to be joined once again by the head of the MTK Foundation, Spencer, the knowledge. Fearon, how are you?
I'm blessed, Pro V's. Even better for speaking to you. What's going on, man?
Hey, a lot is going on, right? If you recall, 2 weeks back, right, I said to you, look, there's so much content and news out there, it's kind of hard to keep up with what's going on. So I'm going to wheel it back 48 hours, all right? Fury comes out with a video. I've spoken to Prince Khalid. It is on. Saudi, baby. I'm ready, I'm ready. All right. Then on the Monday, right? Yourself, MTK Global, etc. The posters everywhere. It's going down. Undisputed Saudi. So that very evening, all right, much later in the day, things change again. And wow, big news. And arbitrators awarded, or it's said that Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder must fight in the trilogy. Third fight by September the 15th this year.
Yep.
I think I need a drink.
Boy, seriously, if I didn't have a drink problem going into this, I would have a drink problem now. I'm gonna be real. I mean, it is what it is, but we have to realize that arbitrational law is not judicial law. There's a difference. This is a civil matter, right? It's just like, you know, bailiffs coming to your house and you say, boy, but you can't send me to jail. You know what I mean? It's one of them ones. And should it not be to the fact like being lineal heavyweight champion should be or have more validity than being the undisputed champion? Meaning that if you're seen as a Ring Magazine champion, even though Tyson Fury kind of messed that up himself, but if you're a Ring Magazine champion, because he's Ring Magazine champion now, yeah? Anthony Joshua holds 3 of the 4 belts, right? It becomes very confusing. But now it's got to be the time where, similarly to what Larry Holmes did, what was it, in 1983 to 1984, when he absconded with the WBC belt because he was still seen as the ring champion, and he was still seen as the heavyweight champion of the world, even though we had good fighters like Tim Witherspoon, who picked up a title. The Weavers picked up a title. Michael Dolphin went back and forth with Weaver. Jerry Coetzee ended up with a WBA title. None of that mattered, because we still looked at Larry Holmes as being the man. I have this conversation regularly with Lennox Lewis about him versus Larry Holmes, what would happen, right? But yet Larry was a great. So we can't even say anything about that, because Larry was an incredibly great fighter. So maybe we should look at it like that, because I've had enough of this. I just want to see Andy Joshua and Tyson Fury fight each other. You know what I mean? That's what I want to see.
So Deontay Wilder has basically, in some people's eyes, initiated revenge in terms of the fact that Tyson Fury said, look, I'm not interested in fighting Deontay Wilder. And also Tyson Fury obviously was looking at a mega fight with Anthony Joshua. Has Deontay Wilder kind of done all of this out of spite, or what do you think his motive is? Is it simply the fact that he gave Fury 2 fights and that Fury must honor the same back, give him another fight?
You know, I can't tell the mind of Deontay Wilder. What I am saying is, for us being British, we have no interest in watching Deontay Wilder back with Tyson Fury, right? The real interest is to see Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury get on. But then I can also see it to the fact of this. Now that Deontay Wilder is training with Malik Scott, yeah, I am seeing improvements in him, right? But I think he's still going to need a little bit more improvements to say that he's going to go back into Tyson Fury, because there could be some mental damage there. There could be, right? Either way, this has got nothing to do with Deontay Wilder. This is more to do with Al Heyman and the power base that he is trying to throw a spanner in the works for Joshua versus Fury. And that's what this is about. This is about him activating revenge because Eddie Hearn's gone out to America, and this is about Al Heyman showing, listen, I pull the strings here. That's what it is. He's clicking his fingers like Thanos right now.
Wow. Is there an argument to say that, look, Joshua versus Fury is bigger than the whole picture? It just can happen anyway without the WBC title, and Fury may vacate.
It can, but it still kills the rhetoric of that fight, saying like this is for the undisputed championship of the whole wide world, right? So it's damaging, but similarly to Lennox Lewis, when he became undisputed champion and subsequently got stripped of the WBA title, he was still regarded as the undisputed champion, right? Because he refused. What was it? Lennox Lewis refused to fight John Ruiz, and took on Michael Grant, who was seen at the time as the harder of the two guys to fight, and he fought him, and they stripped him of his WBA title, and Evander Holyfield and John Ruiz ended up fighting for the vacant WBA title. But Lennox Lewis was still regarded as the undisputed champion because he also the Ring magazine belt holder as well. So he was still seen as the number one. So, I mean, to beat the champion, you got to beat the champion. And I think Lennox Lewis, through succession of history, did that. It's just that his title got taken away from him. So it could be one of those kind of cases. But really and truly, I think this fight is bigger than the fact that we're saying it's undisputed, because it's still undisputed anyway, right? The winner of that fight is the number one heavyweight in the world, period, right? And I remember years ago, we always used to talk about this alphabet soup and how it was spoiling boxing, right? And it may come to the fact where we do away with all of these spurious titles, right? And we, the people, to be undisputed means we all agree the winner of that fight would be the undisputed champion anyway.
Because we saw comments from Eddie Hearn not long ago saying, look, he wants to make boxing like UFC, you know, one champion under one umbrella.
It's not going to happen for now, because we've got too many people involved in the sport, and it's going to be very difficult for Eddie Hearn to monopolize the sport in that way. Right? And that's being truthful. And then also, if it was under one umbrella, they could then dictate to how much a fighter is going to earn, pretty much what the UFC do. Hence why we're getting companies like Triller now coming into the game and making mad bids on fights for certain fighters, and they're cashing in, like Cambosis challenging Teofimo Lopez. So these are the things that we also got to take into consideration as well. It is, you know what I mean? It's one of those times now, right? It's one of those times. So all we can do now is just sit down and hope that this gets sorted out. But I don't wrong Deontay Wilder for bringing it to arbitration. But like I'm saying again, I don't believe that it's really down to Deontay Wilder per se. Even though I think he does want to fight Tyson Fury again. I don't think he's doing that at spite. He wants to fight Tyson Fury again because he wants redemption. Right? But I think it's more to do with the fact that Al Heyman throwing that card in and the spanner in at the same time to show Eddie Hearn and Bob Arum that I can mash up your plans.
Okay, so we know Eddie Hearn's been flying around the world trying to get this big deal over the line, and only a few days ago he said, look, I told you so, I'll get this deal done.
Yeah.
It would seem that the people in the background have saw that and said, look, we're going to throw a spanner in the works, you know?
Of course, they have, but it is what it is. This is the game, isn't it? Yeah, let's be real, right? Promoters are not friends of each other. They can work with each other, but they're not friends with each other. Let's just call it as it is, right? So Al Heyman has his mechanism that he works with, and he's been very successful with it, and he's made multiple millionaires out of it. Eddie Hearn's trying to do his thing. Bob Arum is old guard, but he's still trying to do his thing, right? And like, maybe is Al Heyman administering something on Bob Arum? Bob Arum has been the person that has vocalized, I don't know, maybe he's disgust for Al Heyman, saying that, you know, Al Heyman is the only one who doesn't want to work with anybody else. All the rest of us, we work with each other. So maybe it's that. I don't know, but it is what it is. I'll be sad if this fight didn't happen, because I really do want it to happen. But it's a difficult fight to sell in America at, I don't know, 3 o'clock in the afternoon for a pay-per-view. It is difficult, but over here, or us as Brits, we want to see it. And I think the fight should go on regardless, even if it isn't for the WBC. Yeah. And that's the fight should just go on. I would say it's still not undisputed. And it should still call it undisputed.
In some ways, yeah, go on.
Undisputed means we all agree, right? So no winner of that fight, we all have to agree that's the best heavyweight in the world, right? So it's still an undisputed fight, regardless that there ain't the belts there.
All right. What I would say, just to conclude, is prior to Tyson Fury announcing over the weekend that the fight's happening, people were getting restless. You know, I'll keep it 100% like real on this. People are getting restless about this fight not being inked and done. How damaging is it now? Like, in terms of the promoters having to convince people that it can, in fact, still happen.
You know what? The promoters don't need to convince no one. The only way they're really going to convince us that it's going to happen is when the fight happens. When it's signed and we say it's happening, right? Because I'm getting tired of this whole back and forth. I am tired of it, right? I'm just keeping this thing 100. And when I was speaking to guys in the know about what's going on, and they're none the wiser themselves. So it's like, we just got to sit down and wait.
I'll probably advise everyone now to put their posts of undisputed fights on draft from now on.
No, I'm still not putting on draft, because I like to hear people's comments. Right. So I'm not putting on all, because we heard that was a date. It was even on Box Rec. And now it's right. So and now
it's been taken off.
I don't believe so.
We're gonna check it right now.
Yeah. Is it still there?
Oh, it's been taken off.
You see? Right. So we don't. I've been inundated with phone calls from everyone left, right. So, you know what I mean? It is what it is.
What can you tell us about what MTK Global have said? What are they trying to?
No, I haven't inquired, you know, seriously. My job, the next week is like, my job is the foundation. What's tomorrow? Not tomorrow. Thursday, I'm down at Croydon Methodist Church where we're feeding the homeless. Anybody free who wants to come and give a helping hand, I'm there from 11 till 2:30. Come out and help. And it'd be good to go meet a couple of homeless people and share a chat and a joke. And we're doing tea and biscuits down there. So anybody, I've got to big up my guy, Colvin from Better in Education, who gave me the hook up for that. And I got to thank MTK Global acting as a corporate social responsibility of the company that, you know what I mean, that fund these things where we can go out and help people less fortunate. And I'm always down there, and it's kind of cool because I can sit with the people down there and talk boxing with him as well. So I don't know what MTK Global have got to say on the thing, because if I say something, I could be lying. I don't want to lie.
And it could change within hours.
Yeah, we hear something. You know what I mean? But I'm getting tired of it. But it is what I can't sit down and base my life off of the back of that, to tell you the truth. We've got far more bigger things to go and do right now, and to spread love. And that's the truth. And that's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah. Barry Jones did say to me only like a week ago that he's going to be on the point of caring about the dispute.
Yeah, but seriously. And Barry Jones is a cool guy. But I think Barry Jones went beyond the form of caring. You know what I mean? When I warned him back in the day, never ever to have that jerry curl in his hair.
Right.
Now, Barry's good people, man.
Yeah, big up Barry Jones. All right.
Yeah.
All right, Spence, man. Been a pleasure once more. No doubt, man. There's going to be more twists and turns, and
yeah, we shall see.
We're going to politic on it. All right.
All right, bruv.
Spence Fearon, Pep Talk UK. Subscribe. Thank you.